Hello everyone! Welcome back to another Warhammer multiplayer battle. This is going to be a 2v2 with me and my pal Surreal Beliefs. I am bringing the Beastman, he is bringing the Vampire Counts, and we are facing off against the Greenskins and Vampire Counts. For my army, we have a mixture of Ungor Spear on the flanks, Gore Herds with shields, and then two Beskors in the middle. We have the two Gore Bulls, two Ungor Raiders, we have a group of Chaos Spawn, a Giant, Malagor the Dark Omen. Then over here on the flanks, we have a group of Chaos Warhounds, and then two Centaurs with great weapons. For Surreal's army, he has a lot of the units of renown here, but we have the Tithe, the Konigstein Stalkers, multiple Graveguard, normal, and then great weapon versions. We also have the Stearnsmen, we have the Dire Pack, two Cryptors, a Vargulf. Then up here we have the Strigoi Ghoul King mounted on the Terrorgeist. We have the Devils of Swartzhofen, which I have never seen really in combat, so it's pretty cool. They have the double Mohawk thing going on, which I can appreciate. We also have another Terrorgeist and then a group of Fellbats for Surreal over here. For the Greenskin player, we have a Ragnarok Queen, Giant, 3 Savage Orc Biggins over here, 4 Savage Orc Biggins over there. We have multiple Squig Herds, the renowned Wolf Archers, 2 additional Wolf Archers, Warzag mounted on the Boar, and I think that's it for the Greenskin. And then the Vampire Count player is going to take up the middle here with the Chillgeist, 2 Blood Knights, frontline of Skeletal Spearmen, Cryptor, backline of Graveguard, 2 Cairn Race, Vlad von Karstein, and the Corpse Cart with the Unholy Lodestone version. I kind of like what they did here. The kind of hardy infantry of the Vampire Counts who can hold on for a long time is taking up the middle, while the Orc player here is going to be supporting their flanks with these Savage Orc Biggins. An interesting idea. Teamwork going on over here. So already I know that my Cav fight, because you can see their Cav is positioning over here to fight off against ours, is not going to be a good one for me, so I'm going to be throwing in an Ungor Spear Herd, and I am going to be throwing in my 2 Gore Bulls to assist against the inevitable fight that's going to be against these Blood Knights and the Chillgeists. Or Chillheists, sorry. No, Chillgeists. Meanwhile, my main infantry line of the Gore Herd and Beskor are going to be charging into the Skeletal Spearmen. We're going to get some action with the Graveguard, and then fighting against these Savage Orc Biggins very soon. I know they look like they're casually walking, but there they go. They will be charging here soon. It seems like they can't decide if they want to charge or not. That's okay. You can just casually walk into the enemy, guys. I know I gave you a charge order, but alright, that's fine. Beskor at least is going to be charging the Savage Orc Biggins. And then our Cav fight over here is going to be getting underway. I will get to Surreal's fight here soon, who is already in a pitch battle against Vampire Counts and, of course, the Greenskins. Going to be putting the Direwolves in front to try and take the charge. And I'm going to start casting multiple Vile Tides from Malagor the Dark Omen against these Chill guys to try and weaken them a little bit through the magical damage. And then our Centaurs are going to come in behind and facing off against the Blood Knights. Now, the 2 Blood Knights and the Chill guys definitely have the edge in a Cav battle in this situation, which is exactly why I'm throwing in our 2 Gore Bulls over here and Spearmen to support their fight. I now summoned our Cygor from Malagor, who's going to be getting into this. And now this battle was before, or is before, the patch changes, so summon units are not going to be deteriorating in this one. Also, this isn't a Wood Elf battle because the Wood Elf patch isn't yet out for the world, so multiplayer is not really a thing right now. So you can see, as expected, the Cav fight is going into the way of the Vampire Counts, but we are dealing a significant damage with the 2 Gore Bulls to this 1 Blood Knight, and we're going to be fighting against the other Blood Knight here soon. My main battle line is turning the tide against these Savage Orc Biggins. They are not really well suited to fight against these types of forces, especially the Chaos Spawn, high damage when they're mixed in with infantry, so they don't take all the hits from the Savage Orc Biggins. The Giant over here is having a field day against a bunch of Graveguard, and his assisting allies of Gore Herds is trying to keep him protected from the Cryptors. Like, even him against Cryptors, like, he still does really good. So he's going to be doing a really fine job over here. You can see lines of Squig Herds have lined up on my left flank, so I'm throwing in a Gore Herd over here to block their inevitable charge against my Ungor Raiders, who have just been pelting these Savage Orc Biggins and are now getting into these Squig Herds because those are a force that I fear. This is pre-patch again, so they have not been nerfed quite yet, the Squig Herds that is. Meanwhile, back here over here at the Cav fight, these 2 Gore Herds are supporting Ungor Spear, and then our Centaurs came back from routing, going to re-engage with these Chill guys and the Blood Knights, and I'm still supporting with the Vile Tide spell. For 2 reasons. Malagor has a trait where he grants his entire army a Vigor buff or a Stamina buff whenever he is casting, so being able to just kind of throw out a bunch of cheap casting spells like Vile Tide is also increasing our Vigor for the entire army, so it's twofold of why I'm doing it. But over here, the Gore Herd with Shield is going to get totally eaten alive by these Squig Herds, but they are just here to buy time for my Ungor Raiders to try and do their best to destroy them before they become a big nuisance. Cygor has been throwing in rocks over into this formation over here against all these Graveguard that Surreal are currently fighting. My Chaos Spawn and some of the Gore Herds, the best Gores, are now fighting what remained of the Savage Orc Biggins on my side. My Ungor Spears were forced to rout along with my Centaurs who came back from routing are rerouted again. Another Vile Tide spell on the Hex Race as the Blood Knights and the Hex Race are going to charge into the back of this clump of best Gores, Gore Herd, and Chaos Spawn. Oh, that's right. The Blood Knight is actually going to charge my Cygor, which is a good move since they are anti-large. So they're going to do actually a lot of damage to my Cygor here soon. Meanwhile, my Giant is still just tearing ass through these Cryptors and these Skeletal Warriors, the Graveguard, with the support of the Gore Herds at his feet. For big creatures like this, put a Gork by the enemy Warzag. For big creatures like this, you always want to try and put them inside like an infantry unit so that the infantry can take a lot of the hits off of the Giants. Just because they're huge, just because they're powerful doesn't mean that they don't need support. Meanwhile, my two Gorbals came over here to try and further distract these Squig Herds and buy time for the Ungor Spear or the Ungor Raiders to destroy them, and that is exactly what happened. My Warhounds are coming back from routing, and I'm going to stick them on these Squig Herds to make sure that they rout off the field. And now with the two Gorbals there, they were just totally destroyed this fight, and now they're going to get over here into the Blood Knights who are destroying my poor Cygor. Malagor is going to come up here as well to support in this fight. Meanwhile, these Shield Guys are being torn to pieces, or what's left of them was being torn to pieces by my Chaos Spawn and the best scores around here. And again, we'll get to Surreal's fight here in just a moment. So now with the Gorbals and Malagor's help, the Blood Knights are just going to get destroyed. They've taken a lot of damage and are continuing to take a lot of damage from them and also my Ungor Raiders, who I've managed to protect against these Squig Herds and other Cav and threats that could end their lives pretty quickly. And Giant, he's still just having a fun time. This is a perfectly good fight for a Giant, just murdering Graveguard. You can do that for days. Cygor is pretty low. I usually do stick him into melee, but since he's so low on health, I decided just to support Surreal's fight with a bunch of rocks, so that's what I'm doing right there. And now let's take a break. And we're going to see how Surreal's fight is going and see the end of the battle as well. So you're going to be able to see here that the Vampire Count enemy, the main part of their army is going to be matching up against Surreal's, and I'm going to be able to just take out some of their, I guess that would be their left flank there. But the fight is going to start here with the Tithe, which I think is an excellent unit of renown, just being able to hold units for a very long time. Against these Skeletal Spearmen, Graveguard are going to be charging against these Skeletal Spearmen along with more Graveguard with great weapons against these Spearmen. Now, of course, unsupported, the Spearmen are going to lose, but they do have some Graveguard behind them that are going to be coming into the fight along with the Cairn race. And then on the left side, we have the Savage Orc Biggins managing to get on this hill to try and flank down onto the Vampire Count's position. Surreal is going to take this fight with his Devils of Swarshofen, the Strigoi Ghoul King, Terrorgeist, Vargolf, and Felbats. Also, you see his Cryptors coming over here as well. Now, Savage Orc Biggins do have bonus versus large, but this is a lot of just very high, powerful, large creatures, and so they're just kind of overwhelming the Savage Orc Biggins here. Meanwhile, the Arachnarok Queen is being held in place currently by the Felbats, and these Savage Orc Biggins are just going to rout very quickly due to their leadership being broken from fear and terror and just losses, and they're going to be routed right off the field because we're at the map's edge. The main battle line for Surreal is just going to be kind of a long, drawn-out fight between Graveguard, and then Cairn Race being supported by the Corpse Guard, which is in a very nice position back here, pretty safe, but close enough to support their nearby units. You can see a Curse of Winds being dropped by Vlad von Karstein on Surreal's forces there. And yeah, this is just going to be a very long, drawn-out fight. Meanwhile, over here, the Savage Orc Biggins are now taken out. The big creatures of the Terrorgeist, Strigoi Ghoul King, and the Vargolf are going to pound this Arachnarok Queen. This is a lot of very high armor-piercing damage here. This is the fight that the Arachnarok Queen never wants to be in. Isolated, alone, and fighting a bunch of big other monsters that have high armor-piercing damage. So she is going to be taken out relatively quickly. She does have the support of all these Goblin Wolf Archers, but they are firing through trees. And their damage isn't that high. So all of these units also have regeneration, so they're able to regenerate through a lot of this fire from the Goblin Wolf Archers anyway. So yeah, this queen is not going to last for too much longer. Strigoi Ghoul King's coming back in to try and finish the fight. Two Cryptors went down here to start dealing with the Giant along with the Devils of Swarshofen, and I think they're going to go off to those Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, maybe? I think that's where they're going to be going. So yeah, the Cryptors and this one Cognizant Stalker along with Graveguard are going to be going over here. So this thing is going to be currently poisoned, so their damage is going to be dropped along with their other melee stats. Looks like the Devils are currently fighting against the Spiderling hatchlings that were dropped from the Arachnarok Queen, who is about to, I believe, rout off the field. There she goes. She's going to be routing up the field. Some of the Savage Orc Biggins came back with support of Warzag, but again, this is still just a lot of damage over here, and they don't have what it takes to turn back the 2 Terra guys, the Vargulf, the Devils, the Swarsoften going over there against the Goblin Wolf Archers. Main battle line, the Cryptors are now moving further in to fight off against the Can Race, the enemy's Graveguard Skeletal Warriors, because the Tithe is finally starting to drop, but they held off a very large group of forces for a long time. Again, the Tithe is a very, very good unit of renown. Doesn't do much damage, but man, it is a holding beast, and that's what you want zombies to do. You want them to hold. Vlad von Karstein here is in the center, just wreaking havoc among Surreal's Graveguard. But the thing is, Surreal is winning the left flank here, turning away that Arachnarok Queen, getting into the Goblin Archers, destroying a lot of these Savage Orc Biggins, and I believe, yeah, dealt a high amount of damage to Warzag, forcing him to flee from the left flank. There goes the shield guys into my pocket of resistance there in the center. And again, Vampire Count on Vampire Count is just a very long, drawn-out battle. There's not much going on here, other than just they're fighting each other. You know, actually, I'm sorry. To make this easier to see what the hell is going on, maybe I should turn on alliance coloring in this current situation. Blue is going to be the good guys, well, Surreal, and then red is going to be our opponent there. Maybe it's easier now to tell. So again, just a very long, drawn-out fight. Vlad von Karstein casting another Curse of Years on Surreal's forces over here. Giants has been in the fight for a long time, but is going to be taken down here very shortly with the support of the Terra guys now. Devils and Swarsoften are currently being shot at, but I think they're going to be microed again to get back into the battle. Meanwhile, the Strigoi Ghoul King is just chasing Warzag all over the field, dealing a high amount of damage to him with multiple charges. So that's what the Strigoi Ghoul King is up to. There goes those Blood Knights being engaged from my Gorbals. And yet, very nice positioning on the Corpse Guard. Doing a lot of work back here supporting the nearby units. And you can see that Surreal's Vampire Count's under the weight of Vlad von Karstein being focused over here, the support of these Corpse Guards and the 2 Can Race over here. We're definitely winning the day on the center of Surreal's line. But now the Vargulf is over here. We got the support of both the Cryptors. The Terrorgeist is going to be coming over here now that the Giant has finally been dealt with. You can see his resting body over there. He's just sleeping. Don't worry, he's not dead. Meanwhile, the Strigoi Ghoul King is still on the hunt for Warzag, chasing him around the battlefield. The puppy over here is going to try and hold the middle against the onslaught of the Can Race and the Skeletal Spearmen, supporting the Cryptors over here. Is this another Curse of Years being dropped? There's a Master of Beguilement from Vlad von Karstein. I'm not sure what that is. What this is. Anyway, oh well, doesn't matter. But now that I have dealt with the Savage Orc Biggins, some of the Graveguard, I'm going to finally be able to get my forces over here to support Surreal's right flank, which is currently buckling under the weight of Vlad von Karstein and all of these units. So you can see my Chaos Spawner coming in, my Best Score is going to be coming in, my 2 Gorbals are going to be coming in. So his forces held off just long enough for me to come in and reinforce him. His left flank obviously was winning the day for him. It was his right flank that was folding, but now I'm going to reinforce that, and we are going to try and surround what is left of the enemy Vampire Count player. The Greenskins, for the most part, have been killed or just driven off the field. You can see Warzag is still being chased by the Strigoi Ghoul King and the other Terra guys currently. My Happy Giant is going to get in here to kill some more undead. Devils and Swarsoften are going to be coming back. And yeah, we just have the enemy Vampire Count now in a kind of a semi-surrounded state here. Surreal on his left, I'm on his right, or their right. I guess maybe their left, depending on the way you want to look at this. We got our Chaos Warhounds coming in here, and this is when the enemy army is just going to crumble under the weight of so many losses, morale, and then even Vlad von Karstein, who is one of the most durable units in this game. Even though he was crumbling, he was in a routing state, he still survived a pretty long time, because that thing kills Vampire Counts pretty quickly. But good game to our opponents and to Surreal and to our Happy Cygor, who's just so happy that he's in constant pain, right? The Cygor is just like in constant pain or like headaches or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, let's take a look at the kill counts. Gorbals do what Gorbals do. My main line, I am pretty happy with their performance. 2 Best Scores did really well. The Ungor Raiders I was able to protect, and they just were able to crush anything that I sent them against. The Centaurs and the Chaos Warhounds, I knew we were going to lose the fight, so that's why I backed them up by the Gorbals, but they held on a little bit, and plus they got some charges in at the very later end of the game. Chaos Spawn, 46 kills, pretty good, and then the Giant, 117. For Surreal here, Strigoi Ghoul King, Only 13 kills, but they helped destroy the Arachnarok Queen, which is a huge threat, and then chase Wurzhag all over the field and then eventually rout him off. The Tithe Zombies got 23 kills, which is pretty good. The Stalkers got 54, which is also pretty good. These are the heavily armored, poisoned skeletal warriors. Graveguard, on all accounts, did really well. The Fellbats held off the Arachnarok Queen for a couple moments, so yeah, there you go. Dire Pack, 50 kills, pretty good. Cryptor is pretty good. Devils of Schwarzenhofen, 169 kills. That is no joke. I never ever see this unit used. And wow. Wow. For the Jungle Pit Lord, we have 41 kills on Wurzhag, which is pretty good. Savage Orc Biggins were just kind of outmatched. They were split up and then just kind of isolated and destroyed on the left and right. I like what they did. They integrated their armies together, kind of, with the Orcs supporting the flanks, but the Orc Biggins just didn't have what it took to withstand my entire army on their left and then Surreal's monstrous creatures on their right. But, you know, they tried something different, so I'm totally down with that. The Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, they were fighting against the monstrous creatures of Surreal, and all those creatures, like I said, have regeneration, so they just do so little damage that, well, they didn't get to do too much in this fight, just because they were fighting against creatures who they don't have enough focus fire power amongst the three of them really to bring down even like a Vargulf, maybe a Vargulf. Well, but in any case, they didn't do it in this one. The Squidherds still managed to get a ton of kills, even though I was trying to destroy them with the Ungor Raiders, but still a lot of kills there. 39 kills for the Giant because he was isolated, poisoned throughout the entire match, and then murdered, and then, of course, the Arachnarok Queen. For Rex, Vlad von Karstein, 50 kills. Spearman did pretty good. Graveguard did okay. Carnrace did pretty good. The Chill Guys and the Blood Knights did really well against my Centaurs, and then my Gore Herds later on. Blood Knight group almost killed my Cygor, too, so good on them. And then 42 kills in the Cryptor, and 0 kills in the Corpse Cart, but it's not there for kills, it's there to support, and it did a really good job at doing that. So I hope you enjoyed the battle, everybody. We'll take one more pass through as a cinematic view, and just enjoy the beautiful combat animations. Undead on undead. Odd that, I guess the renowned units don't change with alliance coloring. Savage Orc Biggins look pretty cool with the red paint. They just need to get an army painter in this game. I don't know how hard that's going to be, but they've done it before with Shogun. I had meant to cast Mantle of Garok on our Centaurs with great weapons to give them a fighting chance against the Blood Knights, but I forgot to do that. They are supposed to have the Mantle of Garok, which makes them very powerful against other Cav, or against almost any other creature in the game. Lucky enough, though, the Gorbals are here to save the day. Oh, look at that puppy. No! Puppy got knocked back. There's just too much for this Arachnarok Queen to handle. Very up close foot of Gork. Still one of the best looking spells in the game. Tide's still holding on over there. I think Vlad's over here somewhere. There you are. Kick that dude. Did that thing just eat a grave guard? Oh, that can't be good for you, buddy. Don't listen. That's spoiled, dude. You don't want any of that. Save the Malagor! Save the world! Oh! Vlad summoned some skeletons there. I missed that. Again, red is the enemy here currently. Oh, there's the puppy. Ooh, let's see some of the double mohawk action. Double mohawk, like what? Who does that? And these people do. Ooh, God. I don't think this one's making it back to the camp. I'm just saying, like it's not looking too good. What else is going on around here? That's gonna start to crumble. And then Vlad. Woo. Goodbye, Vlad von Karstein. Thanks for watching the battle, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Look at this dude. God, you got mouths upon mouths. Oh, take care.